The Celtics take on the Sixers. Game 4 of the series. Boston up 3-0, and that's going to be a 1 p.m. Eastern tip-off. The Celtics are the 7.5-point favorite. Totals 214 flat. The Sixers are plus 270 for an outright win to stay alive. And if you like Philly, plus 7.5, they're minus $1.10 to cover. I've won 2 out of my last 3 MLB tier package plays on patreon.com/Brock Page. I'm also hitting at 63% my last 16 picks in that same category. For more information on how you can access these exclusive premium selections, link for that site is in the description section below. That's patreon.com/Brock Page. Now the Sixers have lost 6 out of their last 7 ball games, and they average just 98 points a game in this series with Boston. Simmons and Robinson still out for the Sixers. Philly's also failed to cover the number in 7 out of their last 10, and they won just 30% of their games away from their home court this year. And yes, the bubble is indeed away from their home court at the Wells Fargo Center in South Philly. Sounds crazy, but yeah, they're away from home. The Sixers rank in the bottom 10 in scoring, bottom 10 in free throw shooting. They also covered the number in just 27% of their games away from home, and they win just 19% of their games when catching plus money. Not doing a great job as the underdog. Now, Philly's failed to cover the number in 5 out of their last 7 conference games. They're also just 3-7 ATS in their last 10 head-to-head meetings with Boston. And speaking of the Celtics, they've won 7 out of their last 8 ball games, and they've covered nearly 70% of their contests away from home this season. And once again, hey, that bubble is away from their home at the TD Garden in Beantown. Now, the Celtics win 77% of their games when favored, doing a great job when they're supposed to win. And they've also gone 70% against the spread in their last 10. They're in the top 10 in scoring, top 5 in free throw percentage. And despite Hayward and Green unable to participate today, Jason Tatum's averaging 27 points a game in the series. 8 rebounds, couple of blocks for him. Jaylen Brown's also scoring 23 a game in the postseason. 6 boards, 3 assists. And Kemba Walker scored 22 a night in the playoffs. 4 rebounds, 4 assists for him. The Celtics are in the top 10 in offensive rebounding in the NBA. Top 3 in fewest points allowed per game as well. Boston's successfully covered the number in 5 out of their last 7 conference games themselves. Now, total-wise, when it comes to the number in this one, Boston saw 4 out of their last 5 games stay under the posted total. They're 67% to the under in their last 9 as well. Meanwhile, the Sixers saw 6 out of their last 10 head-to-head meetings with Boston stay under the posted total themselves. So with all that said and done, all that in mind, giving me the Celtics covering the number and the under 214 in that contest. And before we go ahead and move on, just want to take another quick timeout and welcome you to the video. Got some lines and personal leans out for Sunday's NBA basketball action. Happy Sunday to you. Hopefully you guys are having an outstanding weekend, really good weekend. But yeah, before we go ahead and dive into some more free content here, I just have to quickly remind you that once again, we've won 2 out of our last 3 MLB tier package plays on patreon.com/Brock Page. We're also hitting at 63% in our last 16 MLB tier package plays on that site as well. If you want some more information on how you can join in on the action, link for that site is in the description section below. And once again, that's patreon.com/Brock Page. Moving on, we're going to take a look at the Clippers Mavericks Game 4 of this best of 7. Clippers up 2-1 in the series, and that's going to be a 3:30 p.m. Eastern start time. The Clippers are the 8-point favorite. Total's 232 flat. The Mavs are plus 335 for an outright win. And if you like the Mavericks plus 8, they're catching even money to cover the point spread. Luka Doncic is a game-time decision here today, officially listed as questionable with an ankle. Now, the Dallas Mavericks are giving up 121 points per contest on average in this series. Losers of 7 out of their last 11 as well. The Mavericks have covered the point spread in just 30% of their games in their last 10 outings. They're also winning just 40% of their games when catching plus money. They also rank in the bottom half of the league in points allowed per game bottom half in defensive rebounding as well. They're taking on a Clippers team who's led by Kawhi Leonard. He's averaging 33 points a game in the series, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, and a couple of steals for Kawhi. Nice to see him averaging double-digit rebounds thus far in the series. Now, Paul George is also scoring 17 a game, 7 rebounds, 4 assists in the postseason. And Lou Williams from the bench is scoring 16 a game in the playoffs, 4 rebounds, 6 assists for Lou. The Clippers are in the top 5 in scoring, top 3 in offensive rebounding. They are 70% against the spread in their last 10, and they win nearly 75% of their games when favored. LA's also won 7 out of their last 10 head-to-head meetings with the Mavericks, and they rank in the top 10 in the league in shooting the 3-ball. Now, total-wise, 7 out of LA's last 9 games got over the posted total. 6 out of their last 10 head-to-head meetings with Dallas got over the line as well. Meanwhile, the Mavs saw 75% of their last 8 games get over the posted number themselves. Give me the Clippers -8 and the over 232 in that contest. Next matchup, it is going to be Raptors-Nets, Game 4. Raptors up 3-0 in the series, looking to sweep, and that's going to be a 6:30 p.m. Eastern tip-off. The Raptors are the 13.5-point favorite, totals 217. The Nets are plus $7 for an upset win, and if you like Brooklyn to cover, they're minus $1.10, catching the 13.5. And despite how depleted they are, this Brooklyn squad has still covered 70% of their games in their last 10. Point spread just so high in their recent outings. They're still in the top 3 in offensive rebounding, top 10 in defensive field goal percentage. Timothy Luwawu-Cabarrot is averaging 18 a game in the series, 4 rebounds, couple assists. Karis LeVert is scoring 15 a game in the postseason as well, 6 rebounds, 11 assists for him. Good to see Karis averaging double-digit assists. The Brooklyn Nets, they're taking on a very good Raptors team who is looking to close it out tonight, and they very well should be able to. But this 13.5 number is a mighty big number. The Raps have failed to cover in 2 out of their last 4 ball games that closed out at that particular point spread this year. The Raptors also rank in the bottom half of the league in offensive field goal percentage, bottom 10 in defensive rebounding. The Raptors have also failed to cover the number in 6 out of their last 8 contests against the Atlantic Division. Now, total-wise, when it comes to the number in this one, Toronto's last 2 games against the Nets, both games 2 and 3, both stayed under the posted total. Toronto's also gone 70% to the under in their last 10. The Nets on the other side saw 4 out of their last 7 stay under the number themselves. Give me the Brooklyn Nets plus 13.5, keeping this one close, and the under 217 in that contest. Next and final matchup of the show, it is going to be Nuggets Jazz Game 4, 9 p.m. Eastern start time. The Jazz are up 2-1 in this best of 7. The Jazz are the 3-point favorite, totals 217.5. The Nuggets are plus 120 for an outright win. And if you like Denver to cover the 3, they're minus $1.10, getting the job done against the number. Now the Nuggets have lost 5 out of their last 6 games. 123 points per contest on average they gave up during that span. Denver's also winning just 41% of their games as the dog, and they rank in the bottom half of the league in scoring on average per game. Now, the Denver Nuggets, they have lost 10 out of their last 11 meetings with Utah away from their home court. They also rank in the bottom half of the league in offensive rebounding, bottom 10 in the league in defensive three-point percentage away from home. And once again, they are away from home. They're in the bubble. They're not playing at home. They're playing in the bubble in Orlando. They are away from their home court. Now, Will Barton's still out. Gary Harris is doubtful. They're taking on a Utah team who wins nearly 68% of their games when favored. The Jazz have successfully covered the number in 5 out of their last 8, and they rank in the top 3 in the league in shooting the 3-ball. Donovan Mitchell is scoring 36 a game in this playoff series. 5 rebounds, 5 assists for Don. Rudy Gobert scoring 20 a game in the postseason as well. 9 rebounds, couple of blocks. And Joe Ingles is also scoring 13 a game, along with 3 boards and 7 assists in the playoffs. The Utah Jazz are in the top 5 in offensive field goal percentage, top 5 in defensive rebounding. They're giving up just 108 points per contest on average for the entire season. Now, total-wise, 7 out of Utah's last 9 ball games got over the posted number. Denver, on the other side, actually saw 10 out of their last 11 games fly over the number themselves. So with all that said and done, give me the Jazz -3 and the over 217.5 in that contest. All right, guys, that is going to do it for me. Once again, don't forget to check me out on Patreon. If you decide to sign up for a package today, just keep in mind we'll bill you the day you sign up and then the first of every month following that. But most importantly, guys, I got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that said, happy Sunday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage.